It is difficult to assign any single individual as the main antagonist of the One Piece world. Each and every faction within the series possesses those who have committed unspeakable acts, whether if it's Akainu's willful slaughter and bloodthirst at Marineford, which saw him slay pirate and marine alike, or whether if it's Imu's order for the annihilation of an entire island on a whim. In this video, I'll be focusing on one of the most chilling figures in One Piece, and this is Marshall D. Teach, better known as Blackbeard. Blackbeard's rise through the pirate ranks has been nothing short of meteoric. In just a few short years, he accomplished more than most pirates could dream of. He acquired a powerful devil fruit, he betrayed and murdered a commander of the Whitebeard pirates, defeated Podcast D Ace, and was appointed as one of the 7 warlords of the sea. He infiltrated Impel Down, freeing some of the most dangerous criminals in history in order to join his crew, as he then launched a surprise attack on Marineford during the war, as he killed Whitebeard and stole his devil fruit powers, becoming the only known person in history to wield 2 devil fruits. He went on to then defeat the remnants of the Whitebeard pirates in the Payback War, and most recently he crushed the Heart Pirates, solidifying his status as one of the 4 emperors of the sea. Now, what is the secret behind the terrifying rise of Blackbeard? What unique powers, strengths, and traits had allowed him to rise from a seemingly unremarkable member of Whitebeard's crew to one of the most feared pirates on the seas? In this video, we're going to break down every ability Blackbeard has displayed. We'll be analyzing all of his physical powers as well as his devil fruit based abilities, as we'll explore how each one has contributed to his unstoppable rise. So without further delay, let's explore all of the powers of Blackbeard. Now, before the video begins, only 10% of the people who watch my content on this channel are subscribed, so if you do love these One Piece breakdown videos, definitely subscribe to the channel for more. One of the most overlooked aspects of Blackbeard's rise to power is his sheer tactical brilliance. His strength doesn't just lie solely in his devil fruit, because I believe his true weapon to be his mind. What sets him apart from most characters in One Piece is his patience, foresight, and his ability to manipulate situations to serve his long-term goals. For over 20 years, Blackbeard remained hidden in plain sight aboard the Moby Dick, blending in perfectly with the Whitebeard pirates. He played the role of a loyal crewmate, keeping a low profile while silently biding his time. What was his true objective? It was the Yami Yami no Mi, and when the opportunity had finally presented itself, he didn't hesitate as he stole the fruit and killed a fellow crewmate as he abandoned the crew, instantly going from a nobody to a wanted traitor. Blackbeard wasn't acting on impulse here, because everything that followed was a part of a grander plan. Though his initial goal was to capture Monkey D. Luffy, fate had led him to an even more valuable prize, which was Podcast D Ace. By handing Ace over to the world government, Blackbeard earned a seat amongst the 7 warlords of the sea. But even that was just a stepping stone. The true purpose of becoming a warlord was to gain clearance through the gates of justice and infiltrate Impel Down. Once inside the world's most secure prison, Blackbeard orchestrated one of the most impactful jailbreaks in history, as he recruited the most dangerous level 6 inmates and he turned them into his personal crew. This was honestly a masterstroke which had turned him from an outcast into a major world power. Blackbeard's ultimate goal was the Gura Gura no Mi, the power of his former captain Whitebeard. Rather than take on the legendary pirate head on, Blackbeard let chaos unfold at Marineford, as Whitebeard had battled against the admirals, and once he was weakened, he had fallen due to the strain of war. Blackbeard had then struck at the perfect moment with his crew by his side as he delivered the finishing blow and achieved the impossible, having stolen Whitebeard's devil fruit. He ended up becoming the first and only person in history to have wielded 2 devil fruits, defying the natural laws of the world. What truly defines Blackbeard's intelligence is his restraint. He knows when to act and, just as importantly, when to back down. He avoided a direct confrontation with Shanks and the redhead pirates, recognizing that the odds weren't in his favor. Likewise, when faced with Admiral Akainu, he retreated instead of engaging. This is a clear sign of a man who values survival over pride. More recently, he displayed his strategic thinking by laying a trap at Winner's Island, as he anticipated that someone would be leaving Wano with road poneglyph robbings. Whether if it was the Straw Hats, the Heart Pirates, or the Kid Pirates, he was prepared to intercept and strike. Every move that he makes is a calculated step in a much larger game, one that only he seems to fully understand. man. While his intellect may be his greatest strength, physical capabilities are not to be underestimated. His durability, endurance, and sheer brute force are on a level that only few can match. During his battle with Ace, he was engulfed in flames and pierced by spears of fire. He suffered devastating injuries that would cripple most men, but Teach had endured the pain and extinguished the flames and had fought on as if nothing had happened. His ability to take punishment is nothing short of monstrous, whether if it was Luffy's jet pistol or Sengoku's Daibutsu shockwave. Blackbeard has constantly emerged from battles with only minor wounds. This resilience is particularly impressive when you consider the side effect of the Yami Yami no Mi, as it amplifies any damage that its user takes. Yet even with that handicap, he endures punishment that would flatten almost anyone else. He even survived a direct quake attack from Whitebeard himself, a blow strong enough to shatter the battlefield. Blackbeard remained conscious and capable, proving just how tenacious he truly is. And then you have the matter of his raw strength. He launched both Ace and Luffy through buildings with single punches. He stood toe-to-toe with Whitebeard in his final moments, matching the former Yonko's overwhelming power using a combination of brute strength and his gravity technique Kurozu. Blackbeard isn't just a manipulator, he's a physical powerhouse who is capable of inflicting catastrophic damage with ease. While Haki may not be the first ability most people associate with Blackbeard, it's hard to imagine that someone who has reached such a high level of influence and power lacks proficiency in this vital skill. Even though we haven't seen many overt displays of his Haki use, it's safe to assume that he possesses extremely powerful Haki in order to complement his Devil Fruit abilities. At this point in the story, it has not been officially confirmed whether if Blackbeard is capable of using Conqueror's Haki, but given his status as a Yonko and the threat that he poses, it's certainly a possibility. There are at least two key moments which imply that Blackbeard possesses observation Haki. The first occurs during his encounter with Luffy in Jaya. Despite Luffy having a relatively modest bounty of 30 million berries at the time, Teach was able to sense that the young pirate's potential went far beyond what his bounty suggested. This moment hints that Teach has a strong instinctual grasp of a person's latent capabilities. This is likely via the use of observation Haki. Later, during the chaos at Impel Down, we see this sharp intuition again. Amidst the mayhem, Blackbeard notes that Luffy's Haki had grown significantly since their previous meeting, once again suggesting a perceptive awareness of Haki that surpasses basic observation. If Blackbeard's observation Haki reflects his awareness and insight, then his armament Haki embodies his resilience and raw power. One of the most striking demonstrations of this is during his clash with S-Hawk. Despite the Seraphim Slash having the power to split a mountain in two on Amazon Lily, Blackbeard hardened his arm with armament Haki and blocked the attack head on. Successfully defending against such an immense force is no small feat, as it requires not only incredible strength but also an advanced understanding of armament Haki in order to reinforce his body at the right moment. Now we turn our attention to the most fearsome and unprecedented aspect of Blackbeard's moveset, and this is his relationship with Devil Fruits. Through a method still shrouded in mystery, Teach achieved what was thought to be impossible, as he became the only known person in history to wield the powers of two Devil Fruits simultaneously. With the darkness of the Yami Yami no Mi and the seismic might of the Gura Gura no Mi at his command, Blackbeard proclaimed himself to be the strongest being alive. But his ambitions don't just end there, as he has shown continued interest in acquiring even more Devil Fruits, including Boa Hancock's Mera Mera no Mi and Trafalgar Law's Opi Opi no Mi. While it remains uncertain whether if Blackbeard himself can wield more than two fruits, we do know that he has discovered a way to extract Devil Fruit powers upon the death of a user, and then pass those powers onto his own crew members. This alone gives him a terrifying edge over any other pirate crew in the world. The Yami Yami no Mi is a Logia type Devil Fruit unlike any other, as it grants Blackbeard control over darkness itself. This is a force portrayed as destructive, chaotic, and all-consuming. The darkness appears as a swirling liquid-like void with a fiery, smoky edge that seems to devour everything that it touches. Unlike traditional Logia users, Blackbeard cannot become intangible. In fact, the fruit amplifies the pain that he receives, making him more vulnerable to injury. However, the the trade-off is immense as the darkness acts like a black hole, pulling in everything around it, light matter and even buildings into an abyss of nothingness. Once trapped, his target is essentially erased only to be released when Blackbeard wills it. But perhaps the most horrifying aspect of the Yami Yami no Mi is its ability to nullify other Devil Fruit powers. By maintaining physical contact, Blackbeard can cancel out a Devil Fruit user's abilities entirely, rendering them defenseless. This ability alone makes him a deadly counter to any opponent in the One Piece world. After claiming Whitebeard's Devil Fruit in the wake of the Marineford War, Blackbeard inherited the powers of the Gura Gura no Mi. This is said to be the strongest paramecia-type fruit in existence. With this power, he can generate catastrophic shockwaves and earthquakes, disrupting the very fabric of the world around him. The Gura Gura no Mi allows Blackbeard to fracture the air itself, creating rifts and tremors which are capable of toppling mountains and shattering cities. His strikes can warp the landscape and even tilt entire ocean surfaces, producing tsunamis and wide-scale devastation with ease. Initially, Blackbeard had difficulty controlling this newfound power, but over time his mastery had grown, and by the time of the post-timeskip era, he was able to unleash these quakes with frightening precision, and this cemented his reputation as not just one of the Yonko, but a true world-ending threat. Blackbeard surprisingly doesn't showcase a large variety of named techniques in comparison to other Devil Fruit users in the series, especially when it comes to the Yami Yami no Mi. This does appear to be a deliberate choice by Oda, likely intended to maintain an aura of mystery around both Blackbeard and the true potential of his abilities. Even large-scale devastating attacks such as the massive sphere of darkness that clashed with Ace's Great Flame commandment are left unnamed. However, despite this secrecy, there are still several techniques that have been formally introduced to us. Let's explore the known named abilities of both of Blackbeard's Devil Fruits, as we start with the Yami Yami no Mi. So the first named technique is Black Hole, and this unleashes a wave of darkness that spreads out over the ground, covering an expansive area. Everything that it touches is dragged inward, pulled in by a gravitational force as intense as the astronomical black holes that the ability is named after. Once caught within its grip, the objects, people or terrain are completely consumed and crushed under its immense gravitational pressure. On Bonaro Island, this attack was powerful enough to obliterate an entire village, demonstrating the terrifying scale of its destructive power. After matter has been absorbed with Black Hole, Blackbeard can use the technique known as Liberation in order to release everything that his darkness has devoured. The expelled debris is hurled outward in a chaotic explosion, often reduced to ruins by the crushing forces within. This ability, first revealed during his battle with Ace, shows that Blackbeard's darkness is not just a tool of consumption, it is a force of pure devastation that leaves ruin in his wake. Blackbeard's darkness also serves as a tool of control and domination. With Kurozu or Black Vortex, he extends his hand and activates the gravitational pull of his darkness, drawing enemies directly towards him. Once they're within reach, he can nullify their Devil Fruit abilities by maintaining physical contact and striking them down with his overwhelming strength. Black Vortex is especially effective against Devil Fruit users, stripping them of their powers and defenses. However, it comes with a significant drawback. Pulling enemies close can leave Blackbeard open to counterattacks, as Ace capitalized on this by striking Blackbeard with fiery spears, and Whitebeard later delivered a brutal blow while being drawn into Blackbeard. Now, Blackbeard's not just limited to the Yami Yami no Mi. After Marineford, he acquired the Gura Gura no Mi, and with it he gained the destructive might to reshape the world itself. While some of these techniques were originally used by Whitebeard, it's reasonable to assume that Blackbeard can replicate all of them, excluding those that relied specifically on Whitebeard's halberd. First, we have Kaishin or Seaquake, which allows Whitebeard to punch the air and create massive cracks in the atmosphere. These cracks send shockwaves hurtling forward, tearing through structures, landscapes, and even the ocean itself. When directed at the ground, the resulting tremors can can cause tsunamis, ravage cities, and even upend entire islands. The sheer scale and speed of this move also gives it defensive properties, disrupting attacks before they can reach him. Kaishin is not without limitations, because during the Marineford War, these siege walls were built from a special material capable of absorbing and dispersing the shockwaves. Moreover, the three Marine admirals combined their armament Haki to block the attack from hitting the execution platform. The next ability is called Gekishin, or Severe Earthquake. This is a more close-ranged version of Kaishin. Instead of releasing shockwaves across a wide distance, Blackbeard cracks the air directly in front of an enemy, and the resulting force tears through the target's body, delivering catastrophic internal damage. Next, we have the technique known as Shingen no Ichigeki. This involves Blackbeard focusing seismic vibrations into a condensed sphere around his fist. When he punches, all that energy is released at once, creating a concentrated explosion of destructive force directly on the point of impact. It's an incredibly lethal, high-impact attack which demonstrates the raw brutality of the Gura Gura no Mi. An advanced variation of Shingen no Ichigeki is called Kabuto Wari, and this foregoes the punch in favor of a crushing grab. Blackbeard grabs the enemy's head and focuses seismic energy into their skull, causing a violent burst of pressure and internal damage. It's a terrifying execution style move meant to kill decisively and painfully. Lastly, we have Shima Urashi. With this technique, Blackbeard appears to grab the very air around him as if it were tangible. He then shifts it in order to create enormous upheaval. Whitebeard had used this move to tilt all of Marineford and its surrounding sea, proving just how much power this ability has to destabilize entire environments. The most terrifying aspect of Blackbeard's powers is the strength that he is keeping hidden. Just how is he capable of wielding multiple devil fruits? How does he seemingly capture devil fruits to then pass on to his crew? And what did it mean when Marco commented that Blackbeard has a unique bodily constitution? And why is it that he is unable to sleep? We don't have an answer to any of these questions, as we are left to wonder what else has Oda yet to show us. Could Blackbeard have even more terrifying techniques and abilities that he is waiting for just the right moment to reveal to the world? I cannot wait to see what the future of One Piece brings to the character of Blackbeard and his powers, and for now I want to hand over the discussion to all of you. What do you guys think about everything that I've discussed within this video? Is there anything about Blackbeard's powers that I've forgotten to mention? Definitely let me know by continuing the discussion in the comments. And lastly, thank you for making it to the end of this video, and I cannot wait to see you in my next One Piece video. A massive thank you goes out to all of my amazing Patreon supporters for helping to make this video possible. If you also want to support the channel and see your name in the end of my videos, then check out my Patreon, which has loads of perks like early video access and so much more. Thank you for sticking around till the end of the video, and whatever you contribute will mean a lot to me.